Today I'm going to set up to speed match my diesel locomotives. That's coming right up. Hi, I'm Roy Smith. I've speed matched my diesels before, but it took a lot of time and I wasn't happy with the results. So why am I going to do it again? Because I want to be able to run my locomotives in multiple unit consists at the head of my trains, such as you see here. And I want the locomotives to run smoothly together in consists. Will I succeed this time? I don't know, but I'm certainly going to try. I want my speed matching to be quick, simple, and most importantly, successful this time. That's why I'm going to make some changes in the way I do it. Originally, I was planning to go through the entire process of speed matching in today's layout update. But now I believe that is just too much to try to accomplish in a single video. So today I want to show you how I tried and failed to speed match my locomotives in the past and what I will be doing differently this time. And I will continue with the process of speed matching in next Saturday's layout update. Now, just as I did when speed matching in the past, I will be using JMRI again, and I will be adjusting the settings of certain CVs in the decoders of my locomotives. But this video is not about JMRI, nor is it about CVs. Those are subjects for separate videos. Even so, I do need to say a couple of words about JMRI and CVs because they are so important to the process of speed matching. JMRI, or Java Model Railroad Interface, is an open source program that helps you change the factory settings of the CVs in your decoders. Actually, it's a suite of applications that you can download for free. The application that we will be using from this suite is called Decoder Pro. Decoder Pro is a tool that simplifies the process of reconfiguring CVs. I will put a link to the JMRI website down below, and if you're not familiar with it, or if you're like me, you haven't looked at it in a long time, then I encourage you to go to the website and look around. Now, CVs, or configuration variables, are settings in the decoders installed in our locomotives, which control the behavior of our locomotives. Here you see the CVs in the instructions for a TCS K1 D4 decoder. The first two diesels that we will be speed matching both have TCS K1 D4 decoders in them. The CVs in decoders come with factory default settings, but you can change those settings so that you can run your trains in ways more to your liking. For example, you can change the locomotive address, lights, sound, and other functions. To change the CVs for speed matching, we will specifically need to edit CVs 2, 5, and 6. And we will need to do this to make two or more locomotives run smoothly together because they seldom run smoothly together right out of the box. I know that JMRI and CVs sound intimidating to you if you're not already familiar with them. They do involve what seems to be a steep learning curve at first. But give yourself plenty of time with this because it will be worth it. Now I want to show you how I tried speed matching my diesels in the past and why the methods I used in the past were a recipe for failure. First, I tried to use my AccuTrack speedometer to speed match my diesels in the past. I used it to get all of my locomotives to run at the same speed for each group of 10 speed steps on the throttle. I ran each locomotive back and forth repeatedly through the speedometer and made repeated adjustments to the CVs in the decoders for both locomotives that I wanted to speed match. For example, I tried to get both locomotives to run together at 1 mile per hour at speed step 1, 35 miles per hour at speed step 64, and 70 miles per hour at speed step 128. Trying to do this just about made me crazy. We're not going to do that this time. Second, I tried to speed match my locomotives on the layout itself. I ran the two locomotives that I wanted to speed match on the parallel tracks of the main line. I ran them back and forth repeatedly and adjusted the CVs over and over till they seemed to be running side by side. So they would run all the way down there. Then I'd have to bring them back and try again, over and over. As you can see, these two diesels run together more or less in one direction, but not very well in the opposite direction. So I'm not going to try to speed match them on my layout this time. Instead, I've built this little platform with a circle of track, and I'm going to show you how I will be using it to speed match my diesels this time. Third, I tried to adjust the CVs for both locomotives simultaneously during speed matching. Doing this was neither smart nor necessary. So this time I'm going to adjust the CVs in only one of them so that it speeds up or slows down to match the speed in the other one. And fourth, I created elaborate charts in the past in which I recorded the speeds of each locomotive when running at various speed steps. Then, as I adjusted the CVs and the locomotives behaved differently as a result, I had to change the numbers in the charts over and over. I definitely won't be doing that again. So those were some of the things I did in the past which made speed matching my least favorite task in the hobby. I won't be doing any of those things this time. I do need to warn you, though, I'm no expert at this stuff. Like many of you, I'm learning as I go, but if I keep it simple this time round, it might not be such an unpleasant task, and I'm more likely to succeed at it. I also want you to know that I've done a lot of reading on the internet, and I've watched a ton of speed matching videos. I certainly encourage you to do that as well. Now, you may still be wondering, why should I go to all this trouble in the first place if speed matching is so unpleasant? Well, again, simply because I want to head up my trains with multiple unit consists. And in order to do that, I need to speed match the locomotives so that they will run well together without all of that grinding and lurching that can occur when they're not speed matched. In last Saturday's layout update, you saw me prepare 10 of my diesels for speed matching. You saw me clean them up. You saw me set CV19 to 0 in all of them, because CV19 contains the addresses of previous consists that the locomotives have been run in. And you need to clear out those previous addresses before speed matching and consisting them again. I will put a link to last Saturday's video down below in case you haven't seen it yet. Well, since last week, I've done a couple of other things that will increase the likelihood of success this time. I've cleaned the track where I will be doing the speed matching. I've cleaned the locomotive wheels. I've made sure that the momentum is turned off in all of the locomotives by setting CV3 acceleration and CV4 deceleration to 0. And I've disabled BEMF by setting CV61 to 0. I did all of this so that these settings wouldn't interfere with the process of speed matching. And before I actually begin to speed match any two locomotives, I want to tell you that I will run them for at least 5 minutes in forward and reverse to make sure that they are warmed up, because cold motors in locomotives behave differently from warm motors. Now, when I do the actual speed matching next week, I will be adjusting CVs 2, 5, and 6. These three CVs control the amount of voltage flowing into the motor of a locomotive, and hence the speed at which the locomotive moves. But since we'll be using the JMRI basic speed control sheet, as you see here, we don't even need to think in terms of CVs 2, 5, and 6, but rather in terms of start, max, and mid voltages. Today I also want to show you my setup for speed matching. I built this platform this week. This is where I will do my actual speed matching. As I mentioned earlier, I will not be speed matching on the layout. The platform measures 30 inches by 30 inches, and I've installed a circle of Cato unitrack with a radius of 12 3/8 inches on it. The size doesn't matter, but it is a perfect circle with no straight sections of track that could affect the speed of the locomotives. These drop feeders bring power to the circle of track from the layout bus wires. I'm going to drill a hole in the plywood for the drop feeders. My power cab connects to the PCP or power cab panel here. And this cable runs from the PCP panel to an NCE USB adapter. In turn, the USB adapter connects to my MacBook Pro. You can see the JMRI basic speed control sheet on the screen. You will see a lot more of this sheet in the next part of this speed matching series of videos. After setting up all of that, I then had some fun running a diesel around and around on the circle of track where I will do my speed matching next week. It felt like being a kid again. As I said, I was planning to complete the speed matching process in this video, but as I was putting it together, I realized that doing all of that in a single video might overwhelm those of you who are new to it. I know that doing it as a single video would have overwhelmed me. So we're going to take an intermission at this point and come back next Saturday when I will complete the process of speed matching. I hope you will join me then. In the meantime, don't forget to come back on Tuesday night for my weekly show, Dispatch, in which I get to interact with you. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done it yet, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. Until next time then, thanks for joining me today. I'm Roy Smith, and I will see you again very soon.